Gil, declining core revenue, that was expected, but does that revenue decline deepen from here, or do you reckon Baba has seen the worst of it?
Well, that really depends on what happens in China, and especially the lockdown situation. Alibaba talked about June numbers and into July being better, and Chinese consumer buying more, which would translate to their results. But they have no visibility into what potential lockdowns could still be coming. Assuming there are no further lockdowns, there's no reason why the Chinese consumer doesn't resume growth. And Alibaba is really an index on that. Alibaba is exposed to practically every type of Chinese consumption. If Chinese consumption grows, Alibaba will grow.
They're keeping expenses under control. They're buying back stock. They're pulling all the levers, it seems, Gil, under their control. But is there a limit to all of this? Do they hit a wall if the global recession does become a reality and the rebound in China is at risk?
If the global economy goes into recession, specifically if China goes into recession, Alibaba won't fare well. But they are as well positioned as any Chinese company in the sense that they have very broad exposures, they have a very strong balance sheet, they generate a lot of cash flow. So for a company trading at 14 times earnings, there's not a lot of growth expected in the valuation. So they can weather a storm. They're well positioned for a storm. They certainly won't be able to grow if there's a slowdown in China or the global economy.
Okay, Gil, in terms of moving forward, if Baba is looking for a primary listing in Hong Kong and delisting from the US is a risk, then peak regulatory scrutiny, whether you slice it in the US or in China, does that remain a big headwind for the stock price?
It's going to be a topic concern going forward because there's uncertainty. There's uncertainty whether they can maintain the U.S. listing. There's uncertainty what Chinese regulation could still be coming. It feels like it's eased up a little bit in China, but we do have the conference coming up later this year. We're not sure where policy is going to be coming out of that. Assuming policy is more accommodating and that they can negotiate reasonable terms with the Securities and Exchange Commission in the U.S., they'll maintain both listings and maintain that stability, but both are at risk, and that is something to be aware of going forward.